So chances are, if you're trying to play Animal Jam recently, you might have logged in and seen an error message like this, or this if you're on Windows. And this is mainly because Animal Jam has been going down. The entire game has been going down, meaning if you weren't already logged in before this happened, you pretty much can't get into the game until a certain time has passed. And it's left a lot of people questioning why this has been happening for almost a few years now, actually. And there is actually a logical reason behind why this is happening, and adds a few factors to it. So hey, I thought I'd explain it. Animal Jam themselves have actually responded to this recently, which we'll go on a bit later in the video. But before we do get into that though, we gotta talk about today's video giveaway, which is for the light pink headdress. All you gotta do, like, subscribe with notifications on, drop a comment down below, like the video. So this has been happening for a few years now. I know a lot of old players or new players even are coming to the game recently, and they're kind of being, you know, shocked when they see that Animal Jam is going down a lot of the time, or they just can't log in a lot of the time when they're trying to play the game. And if you haven't been keeping up with Animal Jam the last few years, you're probably not going to know why this is happening or why it happens. So this actually does have to relate to an ongoing issue that you probably have seen happening in the game if you have been playing recently, and that is the bot raids. In fact, these bot raids are so bad that I have compiled an entire playlist on my channel at this point of my coverage of that situation. This is probably the very last video it's actually going to get some kind of a spotlight in it. If I actually stick to that, I'm hoping I do anyway. Regardless, these bot raids happen on the game. They've happened in different forms. You know, sometimes it's like flashing animals in different colors. Sometimes it's like really large versions of the Animal Jam photo booth animals. Sometimes they are controlled by one person. Sometimes it's automated. All these kind of things. But this actually does have a very large factor on Animal Jam's servers going down. Well, if you actually go to the server list on Animal Jam and you do see these servers here, there is actually a limit to how many people can be in them, obviously. But I do believe if there is enough people in every single server, Animal Jam automatically opens more servers. You know, they have these ones here allocated for you to use as is. However, if somebody was also in these empty servers as well, like 5 other people are in these empty servers, because I'm presuming they're empty right now, like completely empty, I imagine more servers would show up on the server list. Animal Jam automatically does this, so there's enough people in enough servers, there's enough servers for people to go into and actually play the game. But the issue is when bots actually use this feature, it obviously fills up the servers more with bots instead of actual players, and it's, you know, actual players suffer from it and can't even access some servers because of it. Now, while there has been in the past enough bots in the game that have legitimately crashed the entire game, and I've talked about a bit on that in the channel before, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the main reason why you get the, you know, something went wrong error is because too many people try to log in at once. I'm pretty sure that is what I was told by a person that was well versed in this stuff. Now, I don't know how much people can log in at once. I know back in 2023, I think 2024, maybe, it was like if 5 or more people were trying to log in at the same time, Animal Jam would pretty much put a halt at people trying to log in for a fixed amount of time so they could stop bot raids, because last year it was pretty bad as well with bot raids on the game. And unfortunately to Animal Jam, it's really hard for them to combat something like bot raids because they do see these bots as actual players as well on their end of things. So it's kind of hard for them to try find an automatic process for them to handle all these bots. So this was kind of a workaround they had in place, especially because the game wasn't too popular in 2024. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was one of the most dead years of Animal Jam Classic in a very long time. But this was just a very simple and easy thing for Animal Jam to do to try to prevent these bots. Unfortunately though, you can assume what had happened with this. People that were using these bots would also intentionally just close logins essentially by doing this. They would intentionally log 5 or more accounts in at one time to intentionally crash the game so people couldn't log in. Now, from my understanding, if you are in the game, logged in on the game, playing the game and whatnot, and logins quote unquote go down while you're logged in, you're going to be fine until you log out. Obviously, if you log out while logins are down, you're not going to be able to log in again. But as I said, this is a obviously very bad thing for actual players of the game. Now, I imagine, given the recent kind of resurgence of Animal Jam in the recent months, that kind of number that was ever designated probably increased a little bit, I imagine, so people can actually log in, given that there probably is 5 actual people trying to log in at once at certain moments in the day now, especially with some summer being around and all, you know, people are going to be on Animal Jam more, meaning more people are logging in, more people are playing the game. And while Animal Jam has kind of responded to bot raids before, which I made a video about that too, like 3 years ago, actually 4 years ago. Been happening a long time, guys. And I'm sure I've referenced this in the previous video as well, but it has its own help section page now. It's gotten that bad and it's that frequently asked. However, Animal Jam posted a image on their story the other day, or I guess a message. I'll put it on screen right now. It says, "Are you experiencing login issues? Animal Jam, like other games, experience denial of service attacks. When these attacks happen, players may have issues logging into the game depending on the nature of the attack." Now, what they're kind of describing here is DDoSing. I don't know if Animal Jam is actually being DDoSed recently. I know for a fact that this issue that I talked about before, where people are just not being able to log in, is a common occurrence on the game, unfortunately. It happens so much that I've gotten like 3 messages a day at some point regarding this. And while I appreciate you guys reaching out to me about issues on the game and stuff, I'm not Animal Jam HQ, by the way. I can't fix them. You can keep coming to me about these issues, because I'm sure I'll imagine they'll end up in a video eventually, but also do report them to Animal Jam type of thing. But it sounds like here on this story that Animal Jam is describing something like a DDoSing attack, which is just like an entire game getting taken down. I know that this issue where people aren't able to log into the game and play the game has bled over to Play Wild as well, which Animal Jam Mobile has had bot attacks on it before, had bot raids, which yes, I've made a video on that too. Very likely Animal Jam is experiencing like a bigger attack outside of the bots based off what they're saying on their Instagram story. However, I haven't personally been told anything regarding that. However, I figured I would mention that. It's definitely a possibility, like I said. I did make a video like I think 4 years ago as well, when this kind of started happening as well, where people like weren't able to log into the game. It's a common thing regardless for games to go down like this as well. They're like, you know, attacks from bots, maybe it, or, you know, just DDoS attacks, which is like overloading every server in the game, I guess would be the best, easiest way to explain it. But it is common for games to go down, especially when they're updating the game. Insert Animal Jam Classic is an updated joke here, but the game does actually go on, but both games do have some kind of downtime anyway for the Animal Jam developers to actually load in a new version of the client with all the new stuff that they add or the stuff that they change. You know, it's not like a simple press of a button and everything is like, you know, all glamorous and new type of thing. But like those are like all the reasons pretty much, you know, Animal Jam has been going down. Obviously all 3 of them potentially in conjunction happening simultaneously. Sometimes it can get a bit rough. From what I know, one day last week Animal Jam was like not able to be logged into for like probably over half the day, I think, based on the times I got, you know, messages about it. Kind of ridiculous, but you know, I imagine Animal Jam will come up a way, you know, to fix it eventually. It's just a little rough sometimes. You know, while this bot issue and you know, all these other issues have been happening for a very long time, it's still something that, you know, nobody could have anticipated happening anyway. I will give them the benefit of the doubt for that. But they have acknowledged the issue. They're gonna try fix it like they always do. That type of thing. Yeah. So apologies for no uploads the whole last week. I was not here. I was away on a trip. I know. What would the community do when Cactful doesn't upload for a week? It'll crash and burn, right? Yeah, I'll have a video or 2 out next week or so, or during the week, I should say. Did have a few planned, but I just, ironically enough, this issue did actually affect me when I was trying to record one of the videos I wanted to reschedule, but so I just ended up not recording anything. Yep, that'll wrap it up here. One thing before I go though, thank you to the channel members as always. Greatly appreciate all the members that chose to support me. It really does mean a lot. I'll have a new channel member video out sometime this week as well, and if you are interested in joining as a channel member, I just hit the join button. You get a few extra videos, few extra perks. That's it. Keep your eyes peeled on the next video. It's a long one if the one I'm thinking of actually goes out, but yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.